Looking at the 992 GT3 RS, you might think that this car is as extreme as a GT3 can get. But Porsche's racing engineers at Weissach and Manthey Racing are treating the GT3 RS like a blank canvas and cramming in as much cutting-edge aerodynamics as possible. If you've never heard of Manthey Racing, they're an engineering and racing team that was established in 1996 and purchased by Porsche in 2013. Manthey specializes in improving the performance of Porsche's most potent race cars. They also provide support to Porsche's factory team for races like DTM, the Bathurst 12-hour, the 24 Hours of Nurburgring, and the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Now the race engineers from Porsche and Manthey are combining forces to create a road car with Le Mans Hypercar levels of performance. This car is covered with so many new and complex modifications that it's almost overwhelming. To look at what's new, let's start by juxtaposing the upcoming GT3 RS MR with the current GT3 RS. With these two cars aligned, we can begin to see just how extreme the new upgrades are, as nearly every single aerodynamic component has been redesigned and numerous additional components have been added. And to present another perspective of just how radical this car is, let's compare it to Porsche's current top-of-the-line 911-based race car, the GT3R. And with these two cars aligned, the GT3R looks downright tame when compared to the GT3 RS MR. Oh, and real quick, if you're enjoying this video, or just like learning about new Porsches, click here to subscribe. It's probably easier to talk about what hasn't been changed, as it appears the only aero components left untouched are the air pressure louver vents above the front wheels, the air intakes in front of the rear wheels, and the rear ducktail spoiler. At the front of the car, we see a much deeper splitter, the addition of two dive planes on either side of the fascia, and the canards in front of the front wheels have been simplified and are now angled outward to deflect air around the wheels. The molding around the center intake has been extended forward, and the new front splitter expands into a raised ridge to deflect air around the front wheels. From the profile view of the car, we can see the canards behind the front and rear wheels have been made slightly larger, and hidden behind the front canard on the driver's side is a decal that I can't for the life of me figure out what it is. It looks like maybe kind of a ghost skeleton wearing a helmet. I don't know, but if you have any ideas of what this is, please tell me in the comments. Today's video about the 992 GT3 RS MR is sponsored by Porsche Art Prints from Arc Driver Automotive Photography. These unique Porsche art prints are a great way to improve the aesthetics in any room in your house, and a great way to help support this channel. They feature museum quality printing on heavy-duty paper that has a partly glossy and partly matte finish. You can check out the entire collection by clicking on the link in the description below. One of the prototypes has been spotted with an aero disc mounted to the rear wheel, and this will most likely be part of the finalized Manthey Racing package, as a similar aero disc is offered with a package for the standard GT3. The most obvious updates are at the rear of the car, where the swan neck spoiler has evolved into a mess of spines and fins and plates. Mounted to the rear window, or what used to be the rear window, is a huge horizontal fin that helps provide lateral stability at extremely high speeds. The enormous biplane wing is now an enormous triplane wing, and at either side of this enormous wing are a set of equally enormous end plates that feature a unique jagged rear edge. The end plates also angle out to a more extreme degree, and holding up this huge conglomeration of weight and downforce are a set of reinforced swan neck vertical supports. On the roof, the 2 vertical fins have been replaced by 2 sets of 3 fins, now giving the car 6 in total. The additional fins were most likely installed to stabilize the air before it contacts the rear wing cluster. I'm just going to pause on this, because the car looks incredible from this angle. At the rear of the latest prototype, we can see a complex system of electric harnesses running from various points at the back of the car into an opening in what used to be the rear window. These wires are most likely connected to numerous points on the newly designed rear diffuser and suspension, and are providing readings to what must be a bevy of advanced equipment concealed by the camouflaging on the rear quarter windows. We've never seen this much technology being used to analyze the aerodynamics on a road car before, so we know that this update is going to be incredibly advanced. The rear diffuser has been completely redesigned, and Porsche clearly took a page out of the 911 RSR playbook for this one. The air vanes are now deeper and channel the airflow in different directions, and like the 911 RSR, the splitter has a much rougher and unfinished appearance, unlike the more refined splitter on the GT3 RS. Unfortunately, we can't see the bottom of this car, but I have a feeling Porsche and Manthey have been working on some brilliant underbody aerodynamics for it. As of now, it's believed that this car is not going to receive an increase in horsepower, but there should be plenty of other upgrades, including 4-way coilover suspension, competition brake pads, stainless steel braided brake lines, and ultralight wheels, just to name a few. At this point, it's tough to say how Porsche is going to be packaging this car, because normally a Manthey Racing kit would be an aftermarket purchase, but there's no doubt Porsche wants to use this car to reclaim the production car Nürburgring lap record, which is currently held by the Mercedes-AMG 1 at 6 minutes and 30 seconds, and if this performance upgrade is sold as a separate kit, then Porsche can't reclaim that record. And this leads to the main question that I've been kicking around inside my head about this car. Who is it for? With fewer than 1% of 992 GT3 RS owners taking their car on the track, and with the GT3 RS not even being eligible for professional racing, why is Porsche giving this car Le Mans Hypercar levels of aerodynamics? I do have one idea. There's an unofficial category of sports cars that can be best described as ultra-exclusive track toys. These are track-dedicated vehicles with extreme aerodynamics that are not street legal, nor are they eligible to compete in professional races. They can only be driven on a racetrack during private or unlimited category amateur racing events. These cars are sold in extremely limited numbers to select customers for huge sums of money, and in some cases, the owner has to sign an agreement stating that only the manufacturer themselves can perform maintenance on the car. This includes cars like the Aston Martin Vulcan, the Ferrari FXXK, the Bugatti Bolide, and the recently announced Maserati MC Extrema. And since these cars don't drive on the street or compete in professional racing, there are no restrictions on their designs, power, or aerodynamics, which gives them something of a god-tier status amongst cars. And when I look at the GT3 RS MR, I see a car that fits perfectly into this category. The GT3 RS MR is expected to go on sale in early 2025, and if it's available as an upgrade kit, the cost will probably be somewhere around $200,000 for the parts alone. And if Porsche is selling this as a complete car, then the price doesn't matter, because if someone from Porsche hasn't already called you and offered you the chance to purchase it, getting your hands on one will probably not be an option. Out of all the new Porsches that are going to be debuting over the next year, the GT3 RS MR is one of the most intriguing, and I can't wait to find out exactly what Porsche has planned for it. Thanks for checking out this video, and don't forget to check out my Porsche art prints, which are linked in the description below. And for more Porsche content that you can't find anywhere else, click here to subscribe.